It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and we are back from LA after a fantastic, fun-filled time with our son, daughter-in-law, and grandbaby Lucy. Met a follower from Claremont, Diane from Artful Succulents. So, hey, girl, hey. It's always fun to meet followers when I'm out and about. Remember before I left, we talked about, well, I trimmed back my kiwi aeonium out by the pond, and I had a ton left, right? And isn't that always the case when we're pruning and snipping and clipping and puttering, as we end up with, buckets of succulents left over? So don't hate me, those of you that doesn't happen to. I'm sorry. But so I have this bucket of succulents, and these gutters over here are the ones that get more sun than the other ones, and they tend to need a little more maintenance. They can look a little scrubby. It's July, it's starting to get hot, the days are longer, yikes. But I am not wanting to do a big renovation on these. I don't want to take everything out and reset because we are coming into hotter months and we are moving. So I don't really want to go through that, but I do, for my own sake and for the sake of the showings of the property, want the gutters to look their best. So if you're looking for kind of a quick fix, or you're in between seasons, or for whatever reason you don't want to start over, this is what I do. First, after I go through and do my OCD picking and of detritus and pulling off all the understory leaves that are dead and knocking out spider webs and so on and so forth, I'm checking soil levels. And remember, these gutters, Greg retrofit these for me. He put caps on the ends and he drilled out holes about every 6 inches for drainage, and then I backfilled them with a potting mix. If you live in a hostile area, you're going to want to go with the cactus and succulent mix, and you might even want to modify that with some vermiculite or perlite or horse stall or something to make it even more, make it drain even better. But here in the land of milk and honey, we can just use whatever's on sale at the box store. So I've got some generic potting mix, and I'm just going to backfill these gutters a little bit because we have lost some soil due to decomp over the, I don't know, when was the last time I redid these? I feel like it's been a year. Does that feel right? Probably, since we really did a major overhaul of these gutters. So, I'm not fussing, I'm not mussing, I'm not spending a lot of time, I'm not freaking out, I'm not worrying about the fact that these are probably pretty root bound. I'm just adding soil because I'm going to be dropping some cuttings in. And I know what you're thinking. How is she dealing with the fact that she is making such a hot mess and getting dirt all over her plants? Don't worry, I have a solution for that too. But yeah, I'm just, in those empty spots, we're just going to throw in some dirt, raise that soil level, add a little nutrient to the gutters. Can't hurt, could help the plants even look better and be healthier for it. There's some areas in here where there's just literally no room to even add soil. It's so densely populated with plants. But here we go. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to take my little kiwis, and I pre-cut them for you. So these are just cuttings, and note all the bruising on the underside of the leaves. That's very, very normal. This is a plant that's really sensitive to manipulation, and it's the underside of the leaves that tend to scar. But since you really don't see that, I don't worry about it too much. And now it's the candles in the birthday cake portion of the program, where I am just going to pop in plant material. Oh God, these spider webs. Harshing my vibe. Ugh. I am just going to start popping in cuttings. Yay! How fun. This really is the most fun you'll have today, I promise. definitely the most fun I've had. And you know, it doesn't have to be kiwi, it can be anything. This just happens to be what I have available. And it doesn't matter where you put them. It doesn't even really matter too much if that stem is hitting soil. They'll figure it out, won't they? So I'm just going to keep going any old which way. And these will root into the soil as cuttings, no problem. I know what you're thinking. Well, Laura, it's getting hotter. Aren't they just going to fry and die? No, you know, it's not going to get that hot. But if you're concerned about that due to your climate, you can always provide cover with an umbrella or with some sort of shade protection to keep your gutters cooler and perhaps even to protect them from a lot of rain. If you're in Florida or in another area of the country or world where you get a lot of summer rain, you know succulents aren't having that, are they? See, I had turned that the wrong way. That's the butt, and there's the face. Much prettier turned that way. Yeah, so you want to protect your plants in the summer from overwater. Remember, these are arid plants. These are desert plants for the most part, and they prefer wetter winters, generally speaking, and drier summers. And they're not a huge fan of humidity, are they? Particularly aeoniums. If you're in Florida or a really humid part of the country, humidity is not your friend when it comes to growing succulents, which I'm sure you have already discovered for yourself. So a greenhouse with a fan, that could be a really effective way. My friend Tanea Lord, who lives in Buffalo, Texas, that's what she did. She had the most amazing greenhouse, and she had ventilation in there and a fan, and she was able to control the humidity in the summer. And honestly, her plants, you'd think that she lived right here next door to me. So where there's a will, there is a way, you guys. Figure it out for yourself. Manage your own microclimates, become an expert on your own yard and your own plants. It's really fun. And if you have some casualties, that's okay too, because you've learned something, and that's the most valuable thing you can do, is learn. All right, so I feel really good about the, whoops, well, that's okay. See, these are down here at the bottom. These are all plants that fell out of the gutters and took root. So like this Haworthia, you know, actually this is another one that I could pull out and cut and set in here if I wanted to, because that was just one rosette that got its legs and rooted and took off. Same with this little Crosby's Compact, this jade, same thing. A little piece of it fell out and it just turned into a bush. And then same with these little kiwis here. Trust me, I did not plant these intentionally. That just happened. And that's also part of the fun. So I'm going to have Greg just focus on these gutters for you while I go turn on the hose, and I'm going to show you how I water. And I do this a couple of times a week with the hose, because not only do I want to water the gutters because, you know, the soil's not deep and they do dry out very quickly, but also I want to keep any little aphids or mealies or any other bugs at bay. So let me grab the hose. I'll be right back. Okay, oops. There we go. Sorry, I got a kink. Don't you hate that? If anybody's got any links to a really good hose that doesn't kink, let me know. All right, this is how, pro tip, this is how I water. Now you see that totem cactus, my booby cactus right below? I do want to be sensitive not to overdo it there. I don't want that thing to rot on me. And actually, it is so full of water, it doesn't need anything. So I want to be careful not to saturate that. The rest of it, not such a big deal. Now all that soil that I put in, this is another, you know, opportunity here to get that to settle just by hitting it with the hose. knocking off what leaves I missed, some spider webs, any little bugs don't stand a chance. Oh my gosh, that's so satisfying. And then you can see the water running through Greg's drains. And that is something that I will do once or twice a week. Some of you ask also about this raised bed and if I'm going to take that with me when I move, and I'm not. I'm going to leave this raised planter here. This was gifted to me. A client didn't want it, so I inherited it. And it's just too much trouble to move it. But my girl, obviously, my crested Aeonium sunburst will be coming with me. I'm going to be really, really careful excavating this too. It will not be coming with me as a cutting. I do not want to run the risk of harming a single leaf on this plant. This is where it starts here. This is the root system here. Dang, and then that crested tissue, it's being held up partially by this piece of driftwood. But this is from where it all started. Oh, you know what? No, Mom's over here. Wait a minute. Is she even part of this? Look at that. See, there's her root system there. Gosh, you know, I don't even know. I thought she was. I thought she was part of this crest, but now I'm thinking she's not.
She's separate.
She's separate. Holy crap. Who knew? And you know what? I still may be mistaken on that, but we will definitely uncover the answer to that mystery when it comes time to move. But yeah, I'm really thinking this is a whole separate thing here. How funny. And all this time I thought she was the mom. The roses. Roses are obviously going to stay. They are planted in boxes, which you can't really even see anymore. But there they are, those little purple boxes that Greg made me. We put some hardware cloth on the ground, and then the boxes are bottomless because we had voles, and I just didn't want to risk them eating the roots and killing my roses before they had a chance to establish. So, but those will stay. The fountain is definitely coming with me. I will probably have to take the plants out now. Yep, Greg says yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Okay.
Break it down in pieces.
Yeah, we have to break it down. I think it's in 3 pieces, but this is concrete, so it is very, very heavy. So these guys, this will come with, and of course, my Attenuata variegata is coming with me. This blue glow will either, well, it's going to need to be dug up because, see, the only way we're going to get this fountain out of here clean is if that's out of the way. So a client will likely inherit this beautiful blue glow. And obviously, you know, all of my balls are coming with me, my pots and decorative things are coming with me. The Stephanotis will stay, the Bougainvillea will stay, the Wisteria will stay. I don't want to impact the footprint too heavily, but you know, we do have a lot of structures already in play in this garden. We've got the waterfall, the Brugmansia in the corner, the bench, the fire pit, this pergola. You know, obviously all of that will stay. The patio, lemon tree is coming with me. It looks a little puny right now because I think it needs water. So I'll give this a drink today, and then tomorrow when we shoot Walkabout Wednesday, we'll see if my watering has perked it up. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.